My presentation today is about controlling substances used on the farm which are hazardous to health. So it could be dust, vapours, liquids which you get on your hands, so any substance really which you use during your working day. So I'm an occupational hygiene inspector, which means I specialise specifically in this area. So if you've got any questions, however daft, please ask me. People very often just haven't got time. Often they don't use something which is most appropriate, they just use something which is most comfortable, or they don't bother at all. You're much more likely to get ill health during your career on the farm than you are to have an accident. And so it's not just about what you can inhale, there's also what you can ingest and what gets on your hands. Some of it will be absorbed through the skin, but some will just act on the hands and cause really bad dermatitis. And these are very debilitating diseases. People think a bit of irritation, but I know guys who can't do things with their hands because they're so bad. So it's all awareness. It's not just about cost. Often people are given things but they don't wear them. They know how difficult it is to do things with the sort of thick gloves on or a respirator. They can't communicate, so you know, they probably put it in their pocket or stick it on their head, but they don't actually wear it. We'll have a little poll here. Which one do you think is the dustiest? Anyone for the sawdust? Anyone for the straw? Right, and anyone for the animal feed? So you can see a bit of dust, yeah? See the fine dust? If you put the lights back on, the dust disappears. Seeing is believing. If you can't see it, you don't do anything about it. So that's not dustless sawdust. So again, if you turn the light on, you can hardly see only the larger particles. So you only see the larger particles under normal light. So, you know, you can see some dust even with the straw. Now you wouldn't think there would be much dust in that. I suppose it depends how dry it is. In reality, on a farm, when you're doing dusty activities, you're going to have to rely on respirators at some stage. Firstly, that one strap will not hold that securely. It's got to fit your face, so it's got to be really tight fitting. Because it's not going to go through any filtering material if there's any gaps. It'll always take the path of the least resistance. So this is not a respirator. Respirators have all got CE numbers on, okay? So they come in P1, P2, P3, right? With P3 being the highest efficiency. They only protect you if they fit you. So I've seen them for asbestos. People working asbestos enclosures with a hole in it for their fag. And that is the honest truth. They ask lots of questions, they don't feel intimidated. The youngsters, you try to interact with them, get them to do demonstrations. And yeah, I think it does actually raise their awareness. If I could get someone up to volunteer, and you get a free mask, which cost about £3.50. You can have two if you want. Do you want? Yeah? Yeah. Would you like to come up, young man? Right. If you'd like to, to put them on, you just have to feed it through. My hands are a bit dirty. These are FFP3s. Now, if you look at these respirators, they've got this perimeter seal around them. If you'd like to put that. Okay. He only comes here just to get a free respirator. Okay. But these, although these are quite good, if they're put on properly, they're not comfortable, and that is normally indicative they're actually fitting you really. Okay, so in order for these to be effective, they have to fit and they've got to be worn correctly. Right, you put the one strap around your neck, and if you tighten that, Richard, okay, so yeah, that's it. If you could do it on both sides together, then you get an even, you know, you can do it evenly. Yeah. And the other one is right on the top of the neck, head there. And then you did the right thing, you mould it. Now, it's quite difficult to see very often, isn't it? If you mould that, because if you have to wear, often you have to wear other PPE, for example, safety glasses. Now, people say to me, oh, I can't wear safety glasses because they steam up. Do you know why they're steaming up? So it's leaking, isn't it? It's leaking. So a good test is if you put a pair of safety glasses on, okay, if you put your hand over the exhalation valve in the front, right over it, and blow out really hard. If you can feel air escaping around the outside, that suggests it's not fitting. If your glasses steam up, again, it's likely to be leaking around the nose. It's a very, very quick test. The other test you can do is place your hand right over the filtering material and breathe in, and the mask should collapse slightly on your face if it's working effectively. If you can feel air gushing in from around the perimeter, Again, it's leaking, so that you should do those sort of tests every time you wear them. People were wearing those respirators on a daily basis and they were having a clean respirator. Within 6 months, you would have paid for one of these. So I went to a bakery recently and they had Polish lads working there. They were working 12-hour shifts. Flour dust is an asthmagen, and he was boiling in there. And I thought, this is just not acceptable. They were trying to improve controls. So in the meantime, they now got these. And when I went back to see them, they all shook my hand because it's the best thing that they've ever been given. As soon as that chemical gets onto that glove, the clock starts to break through. A lot of these gloves will only give you minutes protection against some substances, but all of these gloves, even if you wash off the chemical, some of it will still be penetrating through that glove. So the clock starts ticking as soon as that chemical gets on the glove. So you don't have to be wearing them. It's just about being considered really, so that you try to avoid or minimise exposure to these substances. They deserve to work in a better environment and they shouldn't be made unwell as a result of going to work.